The atom. Atoms can be described as the smallest unit of particles that can take part in a chemical reaction. Atoms are neutral, so there's a balance of positive and negative charges in an atom. An atom consists of a heavy nucleus surrounded by a relatively light cloud of electrons. The diagram represents a 2D or shows a 2D representation of an atom. The nucleus is the blue and red balls in the middle, and the three black balls whizzing around it represent the electrons. Each type of atom corresponds to a specific chemical element. To date, there are 118 elements discovered or created. All 118 elements are listed in your periodic table. They're listed in order of their relative masses. We will discuss the periodic table in a later lecture. Let's look at our diagram. In our diagram, in our nucleus, represented by the red spheres, and the blue spheres, we have protons and neutrons. The electrons whiz are the particles whizzing around it. So let's just look at the properties of our subatomic particles. We say proton has a relative mass of 1. The neutron has a relative mass of 1. And the electron has a relative mass of 1 over 1,837. Sometimes you see this figure rounded to 1 over 1,840. The term relative mass relates to the fact that those are not units in grams or kilograms. They're relative to each other. So we start with saying the proton has a mass of 1. Then we compare the mass of neutron to the mass of proton. So this table is telling us that the neutron and the proton have identical mass, and that is the starting unit of our measurement of subatomic particles. Electrons, on the other hand, is 1,887 times smaller than the proton and neutron. So in science, we say that an electron has a negligible mass. As a matter of fact, electrons are so small that they have never been observed by any device that are known to man to date. We know of their existence because of how they interact with other particles around them. Okay, now let's talk about the charges. A proton has a +1 charge, so it's positively charged. Electrons are negatively charged, and neutrons have a charge of 0. The term element is used to describe each unique atom in our periodic table. So hydrogen is an element. It is an element. Oxygen is an element. It's an example of a different element. Both of them are atoms, but they're different elements. The term element was used by Robert Boyle for any substance that cannot be broken down further into a simpler substance. This definition can be extended to include the fact that each element is made up of one atom. We will discuss the different elements in our lecture on the periodic table.